I'm Ashish Maheshwari, Managing Director of Balaxi Pharmaceutical Limited, Hyderabad. Pharmaceutical formulations, India is sitting on a huge opportunity to export pharmaceutical formulations to the entire world. Of course, the regulated markets of North America and Europe are the most valuable markets in terms of value, but the rest of the world holds immense potential for India for medium and small enterprises. Even in the rest of the world, there are very challenging, there are some markets which are called frontier markets, which are really challenging in terms of penetration because of language issues and some regulatory issues. These markets are which will give a lot of opportunities to Indian pharma MSMEs in the next 4 to 5 years for growth in exports from India. The major challenges which lie in India with MSMEs are the regulatory issues which have to be tackled. Regulatory issues when tackled at WHO GMP levels and the EU GMP levels can create a lot of value addition to the exports that are being done by Indian pharmaceutical formulations. So that is the major challenge, regulatory, and the opportunity, I believe, lies in the rest of the world markets for smaller MSMEs rather than the US and the European markets, which are catered to only by the very large players in the industry from India. I qualified as a chartered accountant in 1993, and after dabbling in other businesses like yarn and cement for a few years, I got into pharmaceutical business in the year 2003. I started off by supplying white labeled goods to distributors in Africa under their own brand names. I used to take orders from them and then source it from here on from various factories in India and supply them under their own brand names. The USP that I brought to those distributors at that time was that I was not limited by any finished dosage forms or therapeutic segments. I used to offer them everything under all finished dosage forms under any therapeutic segments. So I used to supply 8 finished dosage forms in the probably 25-30 therapeutic segments. In that process, I developed suppliers here in India and China for more than 150 products. And that was the point of time when I entered Angola. Angola I had visited in 2004 and I had found it to be a very lucrative market. So I entered Angola in 2008 and opened our own wholesale depot under the brand name of Balaxi with 150 products. And there was a huge demand-supply gap in that market. We saw hyper growth to the extent by 2012 we had 17 wholesale depots all across Angola stocked with at least 250 to 300 of our own products. We have one wholesale depot of ours in Angola every 200 kilometers in Angola, north to south, east to west. Having done that, sometime in 2008, I had visited Central America, Dominican Republic, and Guatemala, which I revisited in 2015 and found the market to still be as open as it was in 2008, where there was only one supplier for Indian and Chinese product. It remained the same in 2015. So then I opened our offices in Dominican Republic and Guatemala and started filing for product registrations in those countries. In those countries, product registrations typically take 12 to 18 months from the Ministry of Health. So we generally wait for 50 to 60 registrations to come in before we open our wholesale depot. And that way we opened our first wholesale depot in Dominican Republic in 2017, and today we have more than 150 products in Dominican Republic. Guatemala, we have today 95 products registered in our company's name. Totally, we have a pending pipeline of 645 products across 4 Central American countries as of today. And we expect this hypergrowth to continue for us in Central America for the next 3 to 4 years as we get more and more products into our pipeline and increase our number of wholesalers who come into our fold as we age and as we increase the number of products. So that is where our market is going, these 4 markets, and then we have 3 more markets coming up. So this has been Balaxi's journey from 2004. The basic what I feel is the basic DNA of Balaxi is this products, pharmaceuticals is one thing, is the fine human resource management that we have fine-tuned. Human resources is what drives Balaxi's and its growth on the ground in all these countries. Our strategy of selecting the market is quite simple actually. Though it is simple, not that everybody could thought about it many years back. My strategy was very simple, that we will go to non-English speaking countries, one, because I didn't want competition from Indian suppliers. And Indians generally don't venture into countries which don't speak English. So I didn't venture into East Africa or Nigeria, which was already infested with Indian suppliers. So my strategy was non-English speaking country and high GDP per capita. So when I entered Angola in the stock and sell model, Angola's GDP was $6,500 GDP per capita in 2008, compared to, just to give some context, compared to India, which was around $800 per capita at that time. And then when I enter Central American markets, the GDP per capita still is very high. Guatemala is around $6,500 GDP per capita. Dominican Republic is $7,500 GDP per capita. El Salvador, where we are entering, is $4,500 GDP per capita. So the basic strategy is non-English speaking countries, high GDP per capita, but not very, these are called frontier markets, semi-regulated markets. So these are the markets that I choose, intentionally choose, and have been successful in selecting good markets for Balaxi. So for the next 3 to 4 years, we will keep doing what we are doing in Central America. We have a pipeline of product registrations, more than 600 product registrations in the pipeline. When I say pipeline, it means dossiers submitted to the Ministry of Health in various countries, of which we are expecting registrations to come in. And as these product registrations come in, we will see hyper growth in what we call LATAM countries for us. In Guatemala, in El Salvador, and Honduras, we have already opened offices in Ecuador, and the next countries are Colombia and Chile. So we have a strong pipeline of countries in Central America, which will give us hyper growth for the next 3 to 4 years. And now we also want to start off in Southeast Asia, where the volumes are much bigger in countries like Philippines, Vietnam, and Cambodia. And also start up by the end of this year in CIS countries of Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan. So we have a very robust pipeline of what I still call frontier markets, where we can replicate a stock and sell model. We are very clear we'll do only stock and sell model. We don't want to do tender markets or private markets. Till now, we have been completely outsourcing our production to various factories in India and China. But going forward now, we are setting up our own EU GMP compliant plant here in Telangana, Hyderabad, for general formulations. When we say general, we will not be making antibiotics or hormones or oncology products as of now. We will be doing general products, tablets, capsules, and injectables. This was a natural progression for Balaxi because now we have built up enough capacity to run a plant full time, one. And two, to enter other markets of CIS and Southeast Asia, they just don't need WHO GMP, they also need EU GMP certification, which gives us an easy desktop approval of our GMP plant. And EU GMP plants are not available for contract manufacturing as easily as WHO GMP plant is in India and China, and the contract manufacturing charges that they want to charge wouldn't leave us with any margins. So this was a natural progression where we get control of at least 40% of our own production and gives us a much better bargaining power with our suppliers, because then now they also know that we also have a plant, so we understand things and we always can replace it. So it's a natural progression that we are going into a EU GMP compliant plant for tablet, capsules, and injectables. This plant will come into production in March 2024. And we have already the capacity that we are putting up, 50% of the capacity we already sell as of now, and the next 50% we can easily sell over the next 1 or 2 years. So we don't see, this is more of a backward integration kind of a plant for us, but will also let us expand in other markets of Southeast Asia and CIS countries. And going forward, after this plant, we want to go ahead and establish what is the largest growing sector in the world today in the therapeutic segment of oncology. So oncology, we want to set up a plant for manufacturing of both APIs and finished formulations for at least 20 molecules, which we are doing a detailed project report study right now, and we'll decide on it at the right point of time.